Asians
I saw that coming.
Asians that don't know how to do
Circle.
That was a great circle.
Yeah, you almost had it going perfect for a second.
It's easy to start off perfect. Start getting perfect.
Oh, don't cheat. Don't.
That was like a actual.
What a cheater.
Boo.
Okay, anyways.
It's not centered. Can you fix that for me?
It's messing with my
So
eyes.
this is called a unit circle because
We're learning about the unit circle.
this is at 1, 0, 0, 1. No, we're learning about negative 1, 0.
Oh, we're using sine, cosine,
Yeah. We're doing a trig chapter, yes, we're doing.
tangent. This is like the trig stuff.
Yeah. There's like 4 trig chapters. Probably do them straight in a row.
And then
So-
trig calculus.
Does it have code?
Alright, so here, from here to here, this would, let's say this point is called xy. From here to here, that would be how long?
1.
XY.
X long. Because this is the x coordinate right here, basically, right? So this is the length of
And
x.
what is the one here?
How long would this be?
Y.
Okay.
Y.
How long would this be?
X squared
C.
plus y
X.
squared.
X, Y.
How did I know that?
Oh, because it goes after 1.
Okay, you could say x squared plus y squared. You squared did that.
Because the radius is 1.
Yeah, because the radius is 1. It's a unit circle. Anyway,
Wait, does that mean x is 1?
no.
Oh, I see now.
X doesn't. X has to be less than 1 actually.
X is 1 minus
X isn't that.
Okay. If you guys remember that worksheet we did the other day, we'll call this theta.
Pokeball.
Okay.
Pokemon,
So
Pokemon.
what was when we did that worksheet? What was the trig word that we used? Sokotoa.
Pokeball.
Thanks, Brady.
So sine is opposite over hypotenuse, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Opposite
Sign Pokeball.
over hypotenuse. Cosine is, whoops, is adjacent over hypotenuse. And tangent, I'm going to put it over here. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. If you weren't sure, you do need to, if you don't have it already, you do need to get this memorized, SOHCAHTOA, and what it means, and how to use it, and all of it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay, on my unit circle here, sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse. The opposite is basically the y value, and the hypotenuse is what? 1. So, on a unit circle, the sine is basically
Y.
1. And the cosine value is adjacent over hypotenuse, so that'd be x over 1. So on cosine of theta, on the unit circle, that would be equal to x, the x value. Tangent, a little bit weirder. Actually, we're not doing tangent today, so maybe I should mention it. Yeah, tangent would be opposite over adjacent, so it's based on y and x. It'd be y over x, basically. So anyway, even if you're not on the unit circle, let's say this was like 5 or 10 or whatever, basically this is still the y value though. The opposite side's always the y value. And this could be anything. We can make our circle bigger, you know.
Bless you.
But no matter what this radius is, the y value, the radius is always positive, by the way, but the y value can be positive or negative, right? Which quadrants are y's positive in? Which quadrants are y's
Top
positive?
2. Top
1, 2, 2.
Top 2. 1 and 2. Which quadrants are the y values negative in?
3, 4.
3 and 4. Down here where the y's are negative. So sine, the sine function, because basically the radius is always a positive whatever, If the y is positive, the sine function is going to be positive. If the y is negative, the sine function is going to be negative. Okay, sine is, or cosine is based off of x. It's x over the radius, basically. If the x is positive, cosine is going to be positive. If x is negative, cosine is going to be negative. Where is x positive at?
4.
1 and 4. Positive x values. Where's x negative at?
Dos and tres.
2 and 3. Bilingual classroom. Okay, so you might, they might have drawn a picture somewhere in your book, I'm not sure. This will be our sine of theta. So where is sine going to be positive?
Up and up.
1 and 2, and it's negative
Down and down.
down there. Because sine is based off of the y value, basically. So it's always going to be positive. Okay. When theta, oh, we'll come back to that. Where is cosine going to be positive?
The right side.
Yeah, sloppy joke. Over here where x is positive and cosine is negative where x is negative. That would be a handy little note to have. Let's see if they wrote that in the book, actually. Yes, they did. On 270 they wrote that.
You should make it open note.
We're doing a homework assignment. Talking about tests?
So we have an open homework assignment?
And we're not doing it.
Because this is a lot to memorize.
This is a lot.
Really?
It's
No,
in
I
a
don't
lot.
think so.
You have to do all the SOHCAHTOA stuff.
Everything
You have
that
to
I
do all those
drew on this
formulas.
page was a review.
What? No, it wasn't.
Well, this was
just.
just explaining why this is true.
Yeah, well, then you
But
have all
then-
those formulas you have to memorize too.
SOHCAHTOA?
No, that one.
Yeah, the like degree and radians for like the
Okay, that was a lot.
Oh, well, degree and radians, well,
It's only,
we'll talk about that. I didn't say you have to memorize that yet, but I'm debating it. I'll think about it. Okay, anyways. So if I said sine of 45 degrees, I might not know what that is at the second, but is that going to be positive or negative? Well, where's 45 degrees going to be at in our circle?
positive.
Right there, right? Because 90 is there, so 45 would,
Anything under 180.
anything between 0 and 180 is
Positive.
positive. Anything between 180 and 360, so it could be 359, 181, anything in between there is going to be negative on the sign.
Yeah.
So on cosine, similar ideas. It's between like 0 and 90. Kind of think of it like between negative 90 and 90, those are positive. And between 90 and 270, those are negative on cosine. So if I throw out like cosine of 100 degrees, well, 90 is right here, so 100 would be right there. I know this has to be negative, something. Okay, there's a few that we can have memorized. So on the unit circle, since sine is based on the y value, what would sine of 0 degrees be? It's right here. What is the y value at 0 degrees?
0.
0. It'd be 0 over the radius is 0. Okay, what would sine of 180 be?
1.
What's the y value at 180?
0.
0. Okay, right? Because there isn't, it's not going up or down, that's the y value. So that's 0 also. You can plug this in the calculator, by the way. You don't really have to have this memorized, this part, because you just plug it in the calculator. How about sine of 90? 90 is up here. So if this is the unit circle, what's the y value? Go back to my pretty picture. Y value is 1. So sine of 90, if you plug that in the calculator, is going to give you a 1. Guess what sine of 270 is going to give you?
Negative 1.
Negative 1.
Oh, I'm so smart.
Must be nice, Brady. Now if your voice would all you'd have it all. Okay,
I already got the looks.
Got the looks, the smarts, just waiting on that voice. Just kidding. Breaks happen. It just happens. It's part of being a guy.
Brady's just gonna show up to school one day and be like,
Hey guys, how you doing?
it's super low.
No,
That would be
I think
He's
that's
gonna wake
no,
up.
no, no, I don't think they realize that already happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
It did.
His
Yeah.
voice already dropped. It just occasionally cracks. All right. I'm just giving him a hard time. All right. Let's see. So cosine of 0, cosine is based on the x value. So what do you think cosine of 0 is going to be? The x value is 1. How about cosine of 180? What's the x value?
Negative 1.
Cosine is basically, it's the x value over the radius. So the x value is 1, the radius is 1, it's gotta be 1. Cosine of 180, yeah, Brady's right, it's negative 1 because it's like negative 1 over 1. So it's negative 1. Cosine, it doesn't really have to be the unit circle for this to work. If you make the circle bigger, the ratios stay the same. It's just easier to think about it over the unit circle. Cosine of 90 degrees. What's the x value at 90 degrees?
0.
0. Cosine of 270?
Oh,
My
wait.
problem is also 0.
Also 0.
Oh, negative 0.
Well, there's no negative.
I was kidding.
Anyway, those are just some examples.
I'm writing negative 0.
So sine is
You're writing negative 0 down.
Sine is the y values and cosine is the x values.
Yes, sine is based on y. That's probably the most important thing you need to remember. Sine is based on y, cosine is based on x. You can really cheat on this assignment by just plugging these in your calculator.
Oh, that's my.
But it's faster just to say 90 degrees is up here, y value is positive, so sine is positive.
Brady's gonna have a good day.
Oh, I'm gonna have a.
It's faster just to use this, Brady.
Okay.
Like 90 degrees is up, so sine is positive.
Yeah, but what if it's
But it
like?
requires less
What
thought
about
to do it
tangent?
anyway.
Does
True.
tangent not do that?
What if it's not?
Tangent is like the next lesson. It's like if x and y are both positive, tangent is positive. So if x and y are both negative, tangent is positive. So it's positive here and here, negative there and there. Because
Cool.
tangent is basically opposite and adjacent, x and y together.
Okay, that's whack.
So
How would we know what it is if the degree's like 30?
30 degrees would be between 0 and 90, so that'd be right there.
Okay, but.
0,
is that like-
90, 90, 180, 180, 270, 270, 360.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe we should review the radians too, for help us out. I'll put 360 over here also. So, 180 degrees, how many radians is, let me go back.
Oh, that's 2 radians.
No,
1 radian.
no,
3 radians.
getting warmer.
4 radians.
Okay, it's pi radians,
Uh,
which is like 3.14, right? But we usually just say it's pi. Okay, so if that's pi radians, then how many radians would this be halfway between 0 and pi?
What?
Half pi.
Half a pi. Or pi over 2, that's it, ugly pi.
Oopsie.
What the heck, bro?
You just Brady'd that calculator.
I did not break Matthew's calculator. I have broken many calculators in my lifetime, but one was not Matthew's.
Matthew's currently using my old calculator because I gave it to him.
Okay, anyways, so this is half a pi, this is a full pi. This is basically 1.5 pi, or you could say it's 3 pi over 2. And this is how many pi? 2 pi. Or 0. 0 at the start.
See, that makes a lot more sense now that you like read it.
Okay. Probably because you've seen it already. It's starting to make more sense. I think we're ready. Ready? I need something to throw at Josh. Hmm? Do what now? Go back to sleep, it's okay.
Oh.
Wake up!
That was the closest miss you could
He
have.
did it on purpose so we'd come back to him.
Yeah.
Probably sounded about that.
They threw the cap and it hit like that little bit of exposed chair right there.
I thought Matthew hit my chair.
I didn't adjust for the wind, it's a problem.
That's right.
Okay, number 1.
What page?
Oh, we're.
It's 272, 1 through 20.
Because
Where's my book?
sine of 180, you told us
Oh,
this.
there it is.
Yeah, if you can read really well, it's like right
Zero.
there. Sine is based on the y value. What is the y value at 180?
0.
Yeah,
Pencil.
is 0.
Pencil.
So A is 0.
Hold up.
Can you grab my book there?
Oh, these are those A, B, C.
Yeah, but they're really quick. They're really quick.
And then turn.
Cosine of 180 is, maybe I should put this back up here. Cosine of 180 is based on the x value, right? So what's the x value at 180? Negative 1. So B is negative 1.
Whoa. I'm still not there. What was A?
What was that?
It is.
Why is it negative?
Okay.
Why is it?
Okay, cosine is based on the x value, and then 180, the x value is like negative 1.
Yeah, so but what was A?
Sine is based on the y value, and the y value at 180 is
0.
0.
And then B
B,
is
B is what I just said. Cosine of 180 is based on the x value. What's the x value of 180?
0.
What happens if they're negative?
Negative 1. Negative, we'll get to it in a second. So on
Are you gonna
C,
do 2 with this?
no. Okay, on C 270,
That's negative 1.
sine is based on the y value. What's the y value at 270?
No, it's negative.
Negative 1. D, cosine of 270. What's the x value at 270?
Negative 0.
0.
No, Brady said negative 0.
I know this is hard to believe, but sometimes Brady's mistaken.
That you're
What?
wrong.
That is heresy. Heresy of the highest order.
Okay, what do you think on A? What do you think they mean by sine of negative 90?
3.1. What?
On 2.
2A, it says sine of negative 90. What do you think that means?
90 going the
That's
other
the
way.
same thing as what?
Normal.
Zero.
If you go 90 backwards,
That's
that's the
270.
same as 270. So the answer to A is going to be the same thing as 1C, basically.
Negative 1?
Yes, because they're both
Wait,
sine.
no,
They're both basically sine of 270.
Wait, what?
If they stop at the same spot, negative 90, you just rotate backwards, so you go backwards 90 degrees.
Okay, so
So
these.
it's the same as 270. So sine of 270 is negative 1. Okay, number 3, sine of negative pi. Negative pi is
3.1415.
how many degrees is
94.
that? Okay, how many degrees is pi again? 180. So if I go backwards 180, where are we at?
180.
What's the sine is based on the x, or sorry, the y value, so what's
0.
So it's going to be 0 for 3a.
Alright, can I try to do this one?
Sure.
I don't know.
Cosine of pi. Pi is worth how many degrees?
180.
180.
And cosine is x value?
Yes. So it's
Negative 1.
negative 1.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
I just wrote down that chart he gave us when he wrote it earlier.
Yeah, I wrote a lot of charts, didn't I? Kind of a mess. Where did I put the
It's
pi?
right there.
There's the pi. Alright. Sine of 3 pi over 2.
It's right there.
That's the same as 270. What's the y value at 270?
Y value? For like sine or
What's the y value? We're doing sine, so it's the y.
Oh,
Negative 1. So 3c is negative 1.
What was 2z?
Negative 1.
cosine of pi over 2.
That's 0.
What's the x value at 90 degrees?
It's 0.
Does that make sense? Are we good so far?
Yeah, sine is x. and
Kind
cosine is
of.
y.
Sine is based on y, cosine is based on x.
Oh, good.
You might make a note of it if you're not sure. Number 5.
Sine x, cosine y.
Sine is y, cosine is x. So it's the same thing Josh did.
That is confusing me.
I don't
No,
know.
you just confused me.
It's in alphabetical order. Cosine x sine y. That might help. Okay, number 5. What quadrant are they describing? Okay, sine has to be positive. What quadrants was sine positive?
The top 2.
Yeah, we'll go back to that picture. The top. So it's either, what are these two quadrants called?
1 and
1 and 2.
1 and 2. So it's either 1 or 2. And then the second thing is cosine has to be less than 0. Cosine has to be negative. Where's cosine negative?
Left or right. So it's the top left one.
Yeah, cosine is negative in 2 and 3. So where is sine positive and cosine negative? It's basically like saying where is y positive and where is x negative?
Okay, so that'd be quadrant 2.
2. That's quadrant 2. You guys forget the quadrant names too?
Yeah.
Starts,
It goes right to left.
I thought it was
counterclockwise. Goes counterclockwise. So 1, probably because this is the most useful quadrant because it's positive x, positive y. And then second useful, I don't know how they did that, but
reverse wait.
Clockwise.
Yeah, that weird.
okay, on B, sine is negative. Sine is less than 0. So where is sine negative?
180. Wait, sine or cosine?
Sine, right? I'm on 5B. Where's sine negative at?
Wait.
Sine is negative on the bottom.
3 and 4. Quadrants 3 and 4. Where, and then it says cosine is also negative. Where's cosine negative at?
Left and right.
2
so
and
it's
3.
Quadrant 3.
So quadrant 3 is where they're both negative.
How do you do 6B?
Yeah, I saw that. Alright. Sine of 90 plus theta is basically the same thing as cosine. Did they talk about that?
No, they didn't.
I didn't see that in
The
there.
people that make these books are jerks.
Amen, bro.
Maybe they snuck it in on the last of
No, they're literally the worst. If you make math
They're
books for a
literally
living-
the worst.
If you make math books for a living, it is the same thing as like
Being
coming up
sacred.
with ideas of torture.
Like if
Right?
theta was like
I'm
1,
just
it
saying.
would be 91
They are the
degrees. So
devil
sine
incarnate.
91 degrees is greater than 0.
Some people that make math textbooks. Same
So when it says sine of 90 plus theta, that basically ends up being cosine. Sine and cosine are closely related. Why?
Because opposites.
Well, I don't know how to explain it. 90 degrees, if you add 90 degrees to the variable, it makes everything happen 90 degrees faster. And if you like rotate this 90 degrees, it turns into cosine. Sine and cosine are very closely related. But just pretend it says cosine.
Is this like normal related or like Alabama related?
Sweet home Alabama.
You know the band that did that song, Josh?
No.
It's
Were they
Leonard-
all in love with their cousins?
No, it's Leonard Skinner, and it's funny because they really had long hair. And they had a gym teacher.
Okay,
named
story time's over.
Leonard Skinner
So-
who wouldn't let them have long hair.
So then
And so
it
they
would be
named the
sine
band
is greater
after
than
him
0,
out
then
of spite.
cosine is greater
Yeah,
than
where are they both? Where's sine? 6b is both basically where's sine and cosine both positive at.
It's 1, right?
It's 1, right?
It's a mystery.
Isn't there one?
It's
Right.
1, right?
Is it Juan?
No. I don't think we're gonna finish. I think we should cap at like 10. This is
Okay, number
It's
7.
a chapel night.
Without using a calculator or table, that's for you, Brady. Solve each equation for all theta radians.
Wait, did we not do 6?
Oh, this is easy.
Kinda like
Well, we talked about 6b.
Which one equals more?
Oh, we.
Alright. Where does sine of theta equal to 1 at?
At 90 degrees.
90 degrees. Okay, but it said we're supposed to use radians. So what is 90 degrees in radians?
I
don't remember what page.
Pi.
Pi over 2. Yes, correct. Let me do a new page for this. Okay, here's the thing though. Pi over 2 would be a good answer, but it's also going to happen every time you do another rotation. So if you add in like another 2 pi to this, like that's another 360, it will also work. And if you add another 2 pi to that, it'll also work, and another 2 pi to that, it'll
So
also
how do we
work.
distinguish it? Plus.
I don't know what the best way to write this. N times 2 pi. So n represents like an integer basically. Let me see.
So do we have to do that at the end of?
They wrote
every-
2 n pi. Of course, they put the 2 in front.
Because they're jerks.
Yeah. So on all these.
Just add 2 in pi.
Whoops. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
because
usually.
that's
Because if you add another 360, you're going to end up at the same spot. You'll get the same result. So, for example, sine of 90 is 1 degree, but if you add 360 to that, sine of 450 is also going to equal 1. This equals 1, this equals 1. You keep adding 360, you'll keep getting the same. Or subtract 360. N could be negative 1.
That's kind of cool.
then you add 2. What is cosine equal to?
Not-
7? That's not 7.
So this just is going to add 2 pi n times. Like, add 360, however many times.
Isn't it 2 pi cosine equals 1?
Okay.
Is that why they're so close together? Try to remember.
The values,
Which one was that?
the values of sine and cosine, like they fluctuate between 1 and negative 1. They like go up and down over time. That's what sine looks like, and cosine looks like this. So they're almost the same thing. They're just like 90 degrees off of each other. Like this is 90 degrees shifted backwards, basically. I don't know. It's hard for me to explain. I don't think they even mentioned it in the direction.
Number B.
7b, cosine of theta is negative 1.
That's 180.
So basically it's like, where is x negative 1 at?
180. So
180. What is
pi.
180 in radians? Pi.
Pi. So
I'm not just going to put pi though. I'm going to put pi plus
2 in pi.
that weird thing, 2 in pi. Just to make it difficult.
Number C.
If you guys were doing this on your own, I probably would have given you the pi answer. All right. Sine of theta, where
is 0.
is the y value 0? This is a trick question. Where
Always 0.
where is the y value 0?
Anywhere.
Here and here, right?
They tricked us.
So there's kind of 2 answers. What's this called?
Well, pi.
Pi.
But it's also
How far though do I have to get until it's 0 again?
180.
Right, another pi, right?
Yeah, so is it pi minus pi?
And then if I do another pi, it's there again. If I do another pi, it's there again. So instead of 2 in pi, it's actually going to happen every pi.
That's whack.
Is that what they wrote? for
Wait,
that?
can you say that?
Oh, they just
one
put
more
n pi.
time?
Yeah, it's okay. That's both correct.
Maybe if you would apply yourself
Okay.
and listen the first time.
I did, I just,
Really? Were you doing an even?
it was.
See, you
Yeah.
just need to
But
apply
I
something.
usually, I listen to.
Oh, yeah.
Except for you didn't on this one. Okay.
Not on this.
Shame on you,
I do it
man.
every time.
Y is 0
I
at
looked for that.
0 and 180, right? So I put pi because it's 0 there, but also if you add a pi, like add 180, add 180, add 180. So instead of adding 360, we're just adding 180 this time.
If you add 180, it's 2 pi.
Yeah, if you add 180, it goes back to another answer on this one instead of 360. Like you don't have to go all the way around. You just have to go halfway. The book just put n pi instead of pi plus n pi, but both of those are correct. Alright, in pi.
I
Where does sine of theta equal 2 at?
haven't the slightest clue. It wasn't on the chart, man.
Yeah, so guess what the answer is?
Not on the chart.
Doesn't exist.
Are we doing a test this week?
Test is tomorrow, you ready?
No
Yeah.
shot. Actually?
Speak English, Brady.
Oh wait. No. Test.
You really think we're gonna come back and remember this stuff?
Wait, you're just gonna make him want to have a test.
I mean, maybe if you wouldn't be doing the evens ring problems, you'd remember it.
Oh.
That's true. That's true.
I've done it all year though, so.
She got away with it until this point. Number 9.
I think we should do 8 together.
You think so?
I
Yeah.
think we should do all the evens.
Looks
together.
tough. Good luck. Okay. Number 9. These are going to go really quick because all we have to do is put positive, negative, or 0. Those are the 3 options. It's kind of like number 1.
I'm thinking this one's
'Kay.
looking a little positive.
4 pi. Where is 4 pi at on our unit circle?
The right. 0.
Yeah, it's at 0.
So it's 0.
Because 2 pi is a full rotation, 4 pi would be 2 full rotations. So sine is based on what? What's the y value here?
0.
Why?
0. Put it backwards.
No.
It's 0.
So it is 0.
And
Can we
that's
just put 0 and then plus or minus?
Wait for you.
Thank you, Tom.
The answer is 0. B.
Okay.
Where is 7 pi over 6? Is 7 pi over 6 more or less than pi?
More.
More.
So it's
So
negative.
this is pi, so it's a little bit farther.
It's negative.
And we're doing cosine. Is cosine positive or negative here?
Negative.
Negative.
Because x is negative, basically. Or you might just use these little things for reference. Cosine is negative here. And sine is
Oh,
also.
I missed.
So A was 0. B is negative. I'm just going to put in. C
I think it's
is
negative, right?
that's
negative pi over 4. Pi over 4 is how many degrees?
Pi over 4 is
90.
90 degrees.
No, pi
No,
over
it's-
45.
it's
pi over 2
45.
was 90.
But it's going down and sine is across like the y-axis, like
Yeah.
going
Pi
down,
over
so it's
4
like that.
is 45. That was correct. So
That's
it's
negative.
negative, so it's right there. Is
negative.
sine going to be positive or negative there?
Negative.
Negative.
Okay,
Because
now,
the-
cosine
Because the y value is
was,
negative there, basically. All right.
5.
Cosine of 3/4 pi. Is
That's
3/4 pi?
35, right?
3/4 pi is less than 1 pi, right? So it'll be right here.
And it's
So
cosine,
is
it's negative.
Cosine is negative there.
Matthew.
How we doing?
What number are we going for?
Well, 20. It's always a little bit.
Whoa!
Oh, that's a lot, dude.
Okay, number 11.
Is it a
Okay.
day?
Is it 2 day?
No.
4 day?
Maybe 1 day and 10 minutes at the most.
Oh, dear Lord.
Okay. On 11, sine of 60. So we're back in the comfy degrees.
can use a calculator on that one, can't we?
Okay, sine of 60 is y positive or negative there?
Positive.
Positive.
Wait, yeah.
B, cosine of negative 120. You guys know where negative 120 is?
Well, 180
There's negative 90. So negative 120 will be about right there.
cosine is negative.
Cosine is negative there.
Do you have the graph drawn out?
C300.
Well, I keep.
Oh, it's written out on this one.
Yeah. Okay. C, 3, yeah. I lost my place. Cosine of 300. Where's 300 degrees at?
It's like
Fourth
20.
quadrant.
Past 270,
So it's like right
not to 360, so right there. So is
That's
cosine is
It's positive.
positive. Sine would be negative, but not cosine.
Sorry, my bad.
Cosine is x, so it's going to be positive over here.
We need blankets and pillows.
Do we? We need whips.
No.
Sine of negative 210.
That's positive.
Okay,
No.
Negative 210. This is negative 180. So negative 210 would be about right there. So I forgot what we're doing. Sine.
Yep.
Sine is
Negative. It's positive.
positive.
That's what I said.
Guys, this is like the first lesson I've actually understood in a while. I'm feeling it right now.
He's in the zone, folks.
You know what I'm feeling?
Tired.
You need to get more sleep at night. 13. 7 pi over 4 is. You guys know where that would be?
That's just less of 2 pi.
thirds pi.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
almost
like
2
three.
pi because it's like 1 3/4. So it's about right there.
Yeah, and what is
We're
it?
doing
Sine, so it's negative.
sine, so it's negative. Down below. The reason, you guys know why Jackson is getting these so quickly?
Because he's not tired.
Because he took notes and he wrote this down.
Yep.
That's
Or
why.
he's just looking in the book.
He's
No,
just applying.
I wrote all that crap down over here. It's got the positive areas, the negative areas, the names of the quadrants, what all of them mean.
He took a lot of notes. Alright, B. Negative pi over 6. So remember pi is 180, right?
Yeah.
So what's 180 divided by 6?
30.
30. So it's negative 30, which would be about right there.
It's 30.
Thank you. Okay, and
It's sine, so it's negative.
sine is negative down there.
Mic drop.
Are you guys getting this? Somebody besides Jackson, give me some feedback here.
Here, let me try the next.
Okay, Jackson,
Joshua,
Jackson,
I
you're
think I need
on.
to write down the, like.
Okay.
Like pi to be
Yeah,
Yeah,
the,
Well, maybe if y'all would apply yours.
okay,
I
Here's-
can say that. You can't.
here's the thing. We're using these circles
I'm applying myself.
You get it?
and we're using
Yes.
this.
So I need to write that down.
My brain.
This was in your book on, well, they did a lot of stuff.
I think it's just
On the first
another
lesson.
piece here, like she leeches off of my intelligence.
Alright,
Makes me dumber.
Oh, you're angry.
So now that she's not here, it's just like coming back.
Two leeches out here.
I'm just.
She said she wasn't feeling well.
May she rest in peace.
You better be here tomorrow.
I
And when
always
she told me
I'm
she
gonna laugh if she's not.
And she's singing tomorrow. So.
I know, and I'm gonna laugh.
has to be healed. So it'll be you with the solo.
No.
Maybe it's Brady's time
No,
to
it's
step up
Joe's.
and shine.
I'm a single lady. I'm a single lady. I'm a single lady.
That's not the song.
Put your hands up.
That's not a worship song for you.
Okay,
It's not I'm a single lady, it's all the single ladies.
Oh.
so like, we're,
Brady, that's
Brady
not
was
going up
up
like 20
the
years
circle
ago.
of like the pi things, you know?
Yeah, the pie,
Okay, so
this one.
where the bottom one is like 3 pi over 2, if you go up and towards the right, would that be like 5 pi over 4 and stuff? Is that where it'd be at?
So 5 pi over 4, is that more or less than 1 pi? Like, is 5/4 is a little bit more. So it's gonna go a little bit past pi. So
So it's
5,
going this way?
Or just
like a normal rotation goes counterclockwise, and a negative rotation goes clockwise from 0.
Alright, that's what I was wondering.
Hey, can
Okay.
we?
Alright, so we're in this quadrant here, so what are we doing? 5 pi over sine. So is sine positive or negative down here?
You said negative goes clockwise?
Yeah, negative goes, starts down and comes around clockwise. yes.
Oh, can I see the sine and cosine quadrant thing in the duties? Thank you.
This is also in your book on the previous page. Slightly nicer drawn than I have.
Yours looks good.
I agree.
Hold on.
I'm a single lady. No, Brady, no.
I actually thought that's what it was.
How long has it been?
Since.
Okay, so like if pi over 2 is that very top one for negative pi over 2, like what would you do for that?
So, pi over 2 is 90 degrees, so that's up. Negative pi over 2 is negative 90, so it's down.
Alright.
Like if you go backwards 90 degrees, you're down here.
Wait,
Wait, why is C negative if it's at the 0?
See, isn't it? Where are we at?
it's on 13.
13. 3 pi over 2.
Wait, C is 0.
Are we on 13? Yeah. Oops.
3 pi over
Is it?
Where did I get
it?
zero?
I was looking at 14.
It's 0, bro.
Okay, I accidentally did 14.
Mr. Jordan,
Three-
you're supposed to be getting the odds. not the
Yeah.
numbers.
3 pi over 2 is 270. What is cosine at 270? What's the x value at 270 is -1. Oh, 0, yeah, sorry. Thinking y value. I got my x's and y's mixed around.
Oh, you just pulled a Josh. Get it? Because I also got the X's and Y's.
Yeah, I'm sure we all will at some point. D, cosine of pi over 3.
Can I solve?
Pi over 3 is like 180 over 3, which is
60.
60. Where's 60?
Whoa.
Right there. Less than 90. So
Positive.
what are we doing? Cosine. Yeah, they're both positive in the first quadrant.
Yeah.
Good job, Grady.
Thanks, man.
What?
Huh?
You say to me, little punk?
I got threatened by a fat guy at the Danny Duncan concert.
I don't understand half of that sentence.
Yeah, what did you say?
You got what?
threatened by a fat
Threatened?
guy at some concert.
Yeah.
What did he-
what did he
what did he
say?
threaten
He
you?
was like, he's like, he wanted to get like in front of me, but I couldn't move because there was like so many people.
You want
So
to get
he's
around
like,
you?
He's like, you better move or I'm gonna jump you. I'm like, okay. Like I can't. Sorry.
You jump me or jump over me?
Okay.
Fat though, so I don't know what he's gonna do.
So what did he do? Just
Magic.
stay behind you?
Yeah, kind
People
of.
are
The dude was
blind.
just mad.
He's a stayed man. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 15, cosine of 89 degrees. Where's 89 at?
Can I solve yet?
Nah. Drew, where's 89 at?
Like right after 71.
Okay.
Wait, it's right before 90.
Right before 90. Okay. So is cosine, is that positive or negative in this quadrant?
What is it? Cosine?
Yeah.
That is
Probably should have rolled
positive.
that one.
Let's go Barbie.
Alright, I forget that then. B,
I think I'm gonna ask the
cosine of 91. So that just gets just barely past 90, right? Is cosine positive or negative in the second quadrant? Negative.
Let me do this one.
It's 0.
It's Brady's time to shine.
720.
Joke
Alright.
load.
Alright, 90.
Okay,
180.
720, let me help you a little bit, is 2 360s.
So it'll start at the right thing. with
Yes,
the-
it's over here.
Okay, yeah.
So,
That's my answer.
Josh did not say it.
okay, it's
0. 1.
Okay,
0.
sine is what at 0
1.
degrees?
Negative 1. Wait.
It's based on the y value. What's the y value at 0? 0.
Let's go.
Yeah, Josh said about 3 minutes ago.
Hey, we're out of here in like 1 minute. So can we just do through 15?
You're 16.
Let's go.
I'll yeah, we'll work on it tomorrow. Okay, 540. Let's finish the odds though.
So you're gonna let us work on it?
We
Yeah.
get out in like a second.
540.
It's
How much
0.
past 360 is 540? I think it's.
Wait,
That's
where's my 40?
That's
Yeah, that's on
16.
16.
Oh, whoops, my
It's
bad.
negative
Negative
270.
270. Where's that at?
90.
It's at 90. What is cosine of 90? Sine
Zero.
of, oh, it's the wrong thing again. Sine of 90. It's based on the y value. What's the y value at 90?
Wait.
1.
1.
Alright,
Which equals
That's
0.
not wait.
Oh.
we did it. We
Wait,
did it.
no. Wait, go back. That's not the question.
Positive?
It's
It
positive.
was negative 270, which makes it positive.
Yeah, no, but so it's positive, not 1.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't ask for 1. My bad, I forgot.
Come on.
I dare you.
Guys, go back and put a p instead of a 1.
No,
It's been a long day.
It is equal to 1, but we're supposed to put a p.
Do we have to have the odds done? Or the evens done?
No,